is that want to balance out stuff. You know, the Six of Clubs, and then the Six of Spades, which is it has a Six of Hearts, Six of Diamonds, and the Six of Clubs in it. So today you want to look at everything. You know, today is a day for you to be aware of everything that's happening around you and use that energy. You know, awareness of the energy is what's beneficial. So being aware of this six energy today is going to help you out, because people are going to be moving slow. And because they're moving slow, you want to get in balance with it. You know, you may be moving slow too. You know, even if you're not moving slow, you're going to be moving slow because it's Neptune. It's Neptune, Saturn. So you're going to be frustrating yourself. You will be frustrated. And when a Six of Cups gets frustrated or a Six of Spades gets frustrated, they're dangerous, because Neptune doesn't do all of that. Neptune says there's something that you need to be looking at and paying attention to. So being frustrating today is not going to serve you. It's going to frustrate you and people around you. And when the Six of Clubs is off, everything is off. Everything. The Six of Clubs is the John the Baptist card. And it's definitely because it's a mantra. It's a mantra, not really a mantra like the Seven of Clubs, but it's a conversation. The Six of Clubs is a conversation. And it's a conversation that has the support of the Two of Diamonds of balancing things. And it's a six, so we already know it's Venus. But Venus is a very powerful energy. So you got Neptune, Venus, which is, Neptune and Venus is, a good synastry. And you add Saturn in there. And Saturn is like, okay, what are you doing? You know, let's look at this. And that's what we're going to be feeling today. Today, you're going to be looking at things. You know, having conversations that are going to be wanting answers. You know, the Six of Clubs is always on the high side looking for answers to things, you know, looking behind things. But they're paying attention. They're listening. You know, Six of Clubs will be listening and putting stuff together for a rainy day. You know, they're paying attention. When they get their groove, they're paying attention, you know, because of Saturn. It's Neptunian, so they see a lot of things, you know, they know a lot of things. They have great awareness. And that's those two sixes, you know. But letting go of stuff is what they have to learn. You know, they gotta learn it because they got the Nine of Spades, and they got the Nine of Clubs. So Six of Clubs, child. Yeah, definitely. And the cards teach us so much about relationships and why we have relationships with our children. And it could save your life, because the Six of Clubs, child, is going to be slow to start, you know? You're going to be a slow starter. And having a slow starter as a child, you know, depending on what you're doing and depending what your card is important for you to know, because why did this child come back here to you? You know, why, if you're, say you're a Queen of Diamonds, why did you have a Six of Clubs child? Because a Queen of Diamonds is not going to be slow, and they're going to have a mouth. Six of Clubs has a mouth. Yeah, they do. They're supporting karma cards of Two of Diamonds. And the Two of Diamonds challenging karma cards is Six of Clubs. So Two of Diamonds has a mouth, you know, so it's supporting the Six of Clubs in their mouth. You know what I mean? Communications is the benchmark of a Six of Clubs, Two of Diamonds. About communications. So how you communicate today is important, because how you communicate is it can throw your whole house off. You know, definitely is important to know how to communicate today. You know, first starting with yourself, that self-talk. And that Queen of Hearts and Venus, yeah, definitely powerful, because of what you say in the home, is very important because you're pouring that. You know, you're the one that's pouring from that cup. So if your cup isn't good, the home is really bad, very toxic. Six of Clubs home will be extremely toxic if that heart isn't correct. You know, so thinking about you having a Six of Clubs child, or you being a Six of Clubs, and the relationship that you have with people, yeah, in your past life, it may not have been so good. So coming back here, you gotta learn how to have those conversations. I would say that is definitely important about the Six of Clubs. That conversations that you have with your family is important. Conversations that you had with your family as a child was important. What they poured into you as a child, think about it. If you had a relationship that, and you're Six of Clubs, and you had a relationship with your mom that wasn't the best mom, think about how you pour into people. You know, how do you pour into people? That's so interesting. I'm looking at the combination. My mom is a Two of Spades. My sister's a Six of Clubs. I'm looking at that Queen of Hearts. You know, I could be kind of jealous of their relationship because they got a different kind of relationship. You know, I'm not my mother's Uranus, but my sister's a Venus, and they share that Queen of Hearts. So they have a different kind of relationship. I'm just looking at that. You know, you see how siblings are. It's like, wow, that's, you know, she's between my mother's Queen of Hearts, and my mother's Queen of Hearts is Jupiter, and my mother is the Queen of Hearts. You know, definitely. So their relationship is a pouring into each other. But they got a kind of roll their eye, you know, like kind of a hump kind of relationship. You know how people talk, and it's kind of, I don't know, kind of shady sometimes. Sometimes I can feel the shadiness between the two of them. Oh my God, I love Cardology. Look at your siblings and look at your parents. Boy, I just learned something about my sister and my mother. My mother's 98, my sister's 70 something, and you know, she's 73. Because she's 10 years older than me, I always remind her she's older and she needs to act her age. I'm a problem child. I just realized that, Gina. I was a hot mess as a child. I have to say that I was a hot mess. Because I'm a hot mess now with the conversations I'm having in my head about my siblings. Looking at Cardology, it shows you so much why we're here and the dance that we do. You know what I mean? I'm my sister's Jupiter card. And yes, she's a Six of Clubs, so that's a whole story there. The Queen of Hearts pouring that love is very important today. Find some way to pour some love into yourself today. You know, I'm here laughing already. That's pouring love to me. I love to laugh. I promise you, laughing is definitely important. For the soul. And I love to laugh. Laughing just gives me life. I'll find something every day if you give me time until some trigger people come around, then I gotta dig deep to laugh. Like a Four of Spades, Four of Spades. Yeah, he stops my laugh a lot. Damn Aries. I'm sorry for people in the room that are Aries, but y'all are a mess. Lord, Aries season is like duck. Would you say that, Rashad?
Yeah, my Mars is in Aries, so I get it. I get it. No, I don't have no, like I'm attracted to a lot of Aries, so.
You are not so much.
Yeah.
Aries. A lot of Aries around me for a reason. I got a lot of Aries around me, so I definitely I'm Libra, so I would. That's my opposite sign. So Aries and me is good. But man, when they feel like going to war, and they always want to freaking go to war with me. I'm like, why? I mean, I literally am the poster child for minding my business. Not for Aries. Aries do not care if you're minding your business, do you?
What do you have in Aries? Or where's your Mars?
My Mars is in. My Mars is in. What's my Mars in? My Mars is in Libra. I don't know why I don't remember my chart. So my Mars is in Libra. That's why they come for me. They're jealous.
You gonna say they're jealous?
Yeah, they jealous because their Mars ain't in Libra. My Mars is in Libra. It's pretty good, don't you think so? That gives me a lot having a Mars in Libra, right? That's good. That's good balance. Wouldn't you say?
I mean,
since it's my opposite, and when you see that's good, when you see that as good synchronicity.
I think that's a challenge. The opposition that is
yeah, you go. It's
Aries,
right?
Right?
It's a challenge, and I wear it well. I'm just saying that sounded like hate right there. Challenge. You just fell right in that hole. How was it a challenge?
Because in opposition to that is Aries, right?
Yeah, but I'm not it. I'm a Libra. So I find balance. I don't fight. I don't do. Yes, I do. I'm lying. I do fight. But anyway, I think it's Mars and Libra. I think it just gives me, I think that's a good placement. Don't you think that's a good placement, Rashad? It shows to make sense with me being the Eight of Diamonds. Don't you think that makes sense with me being the Eight of Diamonds and have a Mars and Libra?
I think it makes sense is how maybe people maybe take how you speak and talk to them within a relationship or even within maybe family settings. They may feel intimidated. I think it may bring a lot of intimidation in the way you express yourself or your words. You maybe cut straight to the chase as far as what you say. So that would make you very direct and in a sense of
the clubs and Mars, right? Because that's my Mars card. It's the Ace of Clubs. Wow, I just got a whole lot of synastry with that. That makes perfect sense to me. And I said I was gonna look at my chart yesterday, so I gotta pull up my chart and I gotta look at my transits. So I don't retain stuff like I used to. So I gotta definitely print out my chart I got my chart printed, but I need to print out my transits because something is definitely tweaking me today, right? For us to have this conversation, and I had it yesterday again. 6 of clubs, 7 of clubs, the clubs of mental. There's a lot going on. That definitely a lot going on. Do you think that with the clubs how has it been? Has it been feeling different for you? This club season. Well, I guess so. It's Aries, so I guess that's it, right?
And it's the first time this year so far that we've had the 8 of clubs, the 7 of clubs, now the 6 of clubs, and then tomorrow being the 5 of clubs. It's the very first. The previous months we never made it to. I think they ended the 9 of clubs.
Oh, yeah, that's deep.
So that's interesting. This is our first getting a feel of that fixed energy with the 8 of clubs, and then moving into the 7s and then the 6, and then tomorrow the change that will happen. And it all is a mental process. It's your thoughts, it's communication. So sometimes that might get people's underwear in a ball.
In a bunch. Yeah. You're looking at when we get up to the crown, because the Six of Clubs goes up to the crown line. So Six of Clubs has a lot of entitlement attached to it. Right? They are that Neptune line could be entitlement, because they're moving up and they could feel it. And, depending on how they feel it, but it could have entitlement attached to it today. So, yeah, your children today, definitely you got to watch, because they could have their hand out today. They could want stuff from you, right? They could have a desire today for, there's something that they want. They could really be pressuring you today for it. Their Mars is a 10 of clubs, and that's powerful for a child, because that's the crown. That's the card that is came here to teach you. You know what I mean? Think about that. That's a teacher. The 10 of clubs is a teacher. They're the coach. They're the moderator, the motivator, all of that kind of stuff with power. Because it's a club, and 10s are power. 10s are that power with yourself. You have power. Because when you see the 1, it's you, and you see the 0, it's your higher consciousness, that's always with you. That's what 0 is, your consciousness. So the 10s are very conscious and aware. And that 10 of clubs is a consciously aware card, a powerful card. And this isn't trans Pluto. So it's always digging deep. The 10 of clubs came here to uncover. That's what Pluto is. So that 6 of clubs came here to to uncover something. They're nosy. That's an inquisitive energy, and as a child, imagine you as a child, imagine your children, very inquisitive, but very, they want peace, they want structure. They came here for structure with that 4 of spades. That's the most powerful 4 in the deck. So, peace of mind, comfortability, everything is important to them. So if you came and your parents are struggling, they came here not to struggle because of you. Because of 6 of clubs, they're not supposed to be struggling. You hit them in that. You hit them in the fact that this is not no struggle life. So think about that. Think about the 6 of clubs that knows they ain't supposed to be struggling. They came back here not to struggle, but they were born to you. That's some karma. That's the karmic dance between us and our children. That you came back here, because I would say a 6 of clubs is born, think they born with a silver spoon in their mouth, but no, you're not, because you're sitting Neptune Saturn. So there's no silver spoon born, but to get to the silver spoon, yeah, that's what the 6 of clubs came here to get to that silver spoon. And the 10 of clubs is the gateway. 10 of clubs is their gateway. Their job. The work that they do is the gateway to their silver spoon. And that's pretty, to be born in with thinking you got a silver spoon, but you got to work for it. That's the 6 of clubs, So that 10 of clubs is the gateway to you getting to your silver spoon. Because the Jack of Spades is a challenging karma card. That's the initiate. You're getting initiated into this. And the initiation is doing the work. You got to do the work. You had to climb up here. You climbed up to the crown line. And you had to get through that 6 of spades. So it took time. You can look at the 6 of clubs and know that it takes time. And they got to let go of a lot of karma. They got to transcend a lot if you're a 6 of clubs. You got a lot. You got a 9 of spades challenge and a 6 of spades. That's a lot. You get it early on, and your parents get it early on, and you got that synastry, you're doing amazing. But if you didn't get it and the parents didn't get it, then it's climbing up to that crown line, and your Jupiter is the 8 of diamonds. So you have an 8 of diamonds in Jupiter, and your parents don't know how. Your parents don't have an 8 of diamonds life. That's a problem. Problem for you, because you always want the best of the best. 8 of diamonds in Jupiter, you want the best, and you want all of the best, and you want a lot of the best, And the 6 of clubs loves to look good. They love to eat good. They love, the best of the best, the best cars, they want the best of the best, So they're climbing to get there. And their Saturn, wow, you can't eat. You look at their Saturn.
Yeah, that really makes them the best. You gotta be under the best teachers, gaining knowledge, very competitive in that sense as well. So I feel 6 of clubs are well informed that they step into their power and aren't combative with maybe some particular elders or the teacher or in that sense. So yeah.
And we think of John the Baptist. John the Baptist seemed to live a life of obscurity and I don't know. Can you say poverty? Because I don't even know if that was ever addressed with John the Baptist. But I know very obscure because he was the voice crying in the wilderness, right? He was talking about what was to come. And that's the 6 of clubs life is coming to them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So he knew what was coming. So the 6 of clubs is in preparation for something. They're preparing you for something. Definitely preparing themselves first, but he was preparing you for the Christ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the story?
No, I'm listening. But yeah.
No, do you know the story of John the Baptist?
No, I don't know the whole story.
Oh, okay. Well, that's your homework assignment.
Oh, man.
You need to know that story. If you know Cardology, you got to know the stories because they all fit inside of Cardology. John the Baptist was the prophet or prophetess, but it's allegory that prophesies the coming of the Christ, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have that King of Spades, this the father with this in Saturn, right? So the relationship between authority, right?
Mm-hmm.
That relationship between authority is like the 6 of clubs is a very they know, right? They know about God, right? They have been smited. Was that the word? Yeah, the 6 of clubs does not play, can't play, I should say. It can't play when it comes to the word, right?
No, word is bond.
Word is fine. So yeah, you think about the 6 of clubs and the word. They can't play with the word. The word is not. You can't toy. You have to be up. Your word is your bond, and you have to know the word. The key is knowing the word. Because if you know the word, it can save your life, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can. If you, like you say, if they listen, I think if they don't, that's a heavy karma to pay.
Yeah, to repay, right? They repaying it.
Mm.
That's the thing. It's like you repaying that karma. You repaying that karma. And you don't want to repay the karma. So definitely gives you pause, that King of Spades. It's power. That's the God card. It is in Saturn. So you can't afford to misuse that power at all because it's your Saturn. And you misuse that power. Yeah. You talk about vengeance is mine, said the Lord. Lord, have mercy. Whew. is so spiritual. As a two of spades, she would be able to carry the spiritual children. Two of spades definitely. I look at it and I've learned so much over the years of appreciation of my mom. And Uranus is the three of hearts, so yeah, relationships could be interesting for a six of clubs. Would you say? Because the three of hearts in Uranus, three of hearts already wants to be free. That's the card that stepped out of the garden. It has options and it wants to explore. The challenging karma card is the ace of hearts, so it has all it needs. It doesn't need anything from anybody, and it's in Uranus, so it's always being reborn. It's always finding new ways of inventing itself, right? So that ties in perfect with the word, because the word is always changing, right?
All right.
So, they're emotionally tied to their words, but their word is always evolving, right? So the stories that they tell are, always evolving, always adding some what's the word? What you add texture, adding texture to what they're talking about. You can see the different elements and the layers and stuff like that in their conversations. And then Neptune is the ace of clubs, and that goes back to where they are, their spirituality, because it's Venus on Mercury. That goes back to their spirituality, but their spirituality is it definitely has a lot to it, because the ace of clubs is the card that doesn't have the karma. It has that synastry with each other when it finds that balance. So we're looking at adding a lot of spiritual energy to that six of clubs, right? They're always having new thoughts. They're always they're just so much depth to them. And then their Pluto is the queen of clubs, and that's a lot. Wouldn't you say that's a lot? I say that's a lot to have the queen of clubs and Pluto, right?
Yeah, just pushing the new thoughts and the research and the digging that they do, and exploration of itself. Finding that drive and that balance, and always questioning what's on the other side. And then instinctually maybe being correct about it as well, if they use their instincts, so they can have very, very, very piercing souls whenever they probably look at you. You're just feeling like
I
that
know.
analyzing.
Ooh, you just showed me my sister's eyes. Damn, see right through you. I'm like, oh my God, she's my older sister. She was annoying. You know what I mean? It's like she knew, and she was like my mother more than my mother was, because she was always on me. My mother didn't have time. I was number 7. My sister, the six of clubs. Oh Lord, child. Yes, piercing. And having those two hearts, those two queens, gives them a royal stance, right?
Mm.
And that king, so they are very regal and very just have this power about them. But the queens of service, so thinking about John the Baptist, his service that he did, he came here service. And then the six of clubs is the high priestess or the high priest, so that queen of clubs adds a lot of sauce to it, right?
Mm.
Definitely what you said with their intuition, but their challenge to be creative, and to stand on with that 10 of diamonds, that the pressure that's put on them with that queen of clubs. But they're very magical, and they're very resourceful. They're very resourceful, and they have people around them that are powerful and supportive of them, right?
Right, yeah, most definitely.
And their reward is the 10 of spades, and 10 of spades is the most powerful card in the deck. And the Queen of Hearts is supporting them. So that their reward is their faith. The 10 of spades, is here, is a builder. The 10 of spades is doing it. They're getting it done. So that's their reward, that they're gonna get it done. They're gonna be successful at whatever they do. The 4 of Hearts is a challenging karma card. So the home, the foundation, their foundation and their home, and that's so critical. With the 6 of Clubs, if their home is off, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. That's not a energy that cannot be, because that's their reward. Their home is their reward, right?
Right. Well, the challenge of getting that together. So within that, once they find peace and reconcile a lot of things with family, friends, they reach that, they probably feel that particular success, come to a fulfillment.
Yeah. And their cosmic blessing is a 5 of Clubs, and that's their spiritual downloads that they get from the universe and from that energy. And the 5 of Clubs came here to live, came here to explore. They're very mental. So adding that with the 6 of Clubs, as their cosmic lesson, they have to have great conversation. They're supporting karma cards and 4 of Clubs. So synastry is a 4 of Clubs, 5 of Clubs, and 6 of Clubs is a synastry in their cosmic lesson, a lot of mental, the downloads that they receive from the universe. And the 5 of Hearts is a challenging karma card to have fun. They gotta figure out what it is that keeps them, because they're youthful people. They have a youthful buoyance about them. And how do you have fun? They gotta have fun. They can't be so staunch in what their life path is. You know what I mean? And you could see John the Baptist was very convicted in his life path. So the high priestess is and the high priest, they have to have balance, and that 5 of Hearts is challenging them to go in. You know what I mean? Don't spend no time out there in the world unprotected. Because he's that's a worldly card. It just is. But you got to be fortified. And the moon is the 3 of Diamonds, and that's a relationship with your female receptivity and relationship with women. And the 3 of Diamonds is creativity. And there's another queen in there with the Queen of Diamonds supporting them. So it's about how you get what you get is through your service. How do you apply pressure, to the desires that you have in the moon. You can't be in your feelings, And the 6 of Hearts is their challenging karma card. So it's about that adding those 6s together. It's about the pace. How do you pace yourself with a 6? And it's about emotions and in your feelings and stuff like that. So it's in the moon. So that shows you a lot of volatility, in the 6 of Clubs. It's a very volatile card if it doesn't have its spiritual base. And their transformation cards are Ace of Spades. And the Ace of Spades is death and rebirth. They have lots of many death and rebirths. Their transformation is over time to where they're going. But they have to allow things. And they are a person of allowance. Things have to flow, have to make sense. They can't push against the pricks, kick against the pricks. They have to allow stuff to happen. That's their transformation. So they're rising. This is a person that's rising to success. And when they get to this success, it's transformative. And then it's on to the next thing. That's their life. They lose things, and you can't hold on to stuff. It's like you can't hold on to old methodologies and thought processes. And that's that would be with with the John the Baptist in that conversation. It's the Christ principle is ever evolving. You know, it's not a fixed principle. You know, it's an evolving energy that has a set message, but it evolves. You know, the message is the message, but you got to build it out. You know what I mean? Definitely for where you are in your consciousness, because it's consciousness. So yeah, powerful day. You rising today. Today is a day to rise up. You know what I mean? This is a day where you feel the pull, you know, pulling you forward, pulling you out, drawing you out. This is a day of you add it together with the Christ. What did he do? He rose. So this is that kind of energy. That's the stories that the Grand Soul Squares teach us, with those stories that they use. But these are the stories that you tie together to get the backstory to how you get there. What you think, Rashad?
Well, I have to look at the story. I don't know the story, but
well, today the Six of Clubs, the United States is sitting in the Six of Clubs, and this is the year we've seen a lot of highs, a lot of lows, a lot of conversations, and people are trying to get there. You know what I mean? And the United States is trying to get there, and I find that so amazing with looking at coupling in the King of Hearts and the Two of Clubs. They're trying to get there. They're trying to get to that height. You know what I mean? They got the job, but now they got to do the work. You know what I mean? You don't just have the job. They got to do the work. They got to do the work to be the leaders of this country. And it's a job. Rising from the Six of Clubs, it's a job, and how they get there. It shows you next year, because if it's leaving from the Six of Clubs, next year is going to the Eight of Spades next year, right?
Yeah, and the Jack and the Six of Clubs.
Jack of Diamonds. The Jack of Diamonds from the Six of Clubs is to the Eight of Spades, right?
For next year, for which year? 65.
Yeah, with the Eight of Clubs and Two of Spades with that. It's the challenging comic, right?
Yeah, let me see. The Saturn card for the Jack of Diamonds is Six of Spades, right? I mean, Six of Clubs. I'm just talking about in general for the Jack of Diamonds.
Oh, yeah. So, but next year, we're showing where we're going as a country. We're leaving from the Six of Clubs, so we got to rise up. We got to do work with that Six of Clubs. And next year will be in the Eight of Spades.
Yeah.
So we rise our as a nation, and the leaders are, the ones that are, and that's so deep, man. Next year, the King of Hearts is in the Jack of Diamonds. You can't make this up. Wow. When I tell you that this stuff, how this energy is playing down and we just being played, it blows my mind. Because the Two of Clubs is in the Three of Spades next year. But you look at the energy next year, we're going to Jack of Diamonds, going to karmas that is picking up, because it's sitting in that house. And when we're sitting in the house, those are the karmas that we're unlocking. Those are the karmas. Where we're sitting is the karmas that we're unlocking to get us where we need to go. So if you're sitting in the house at the Six of Clubs, your karma, you're locking at that Six of Clubs karma. And that's what the United States is doing, building toward this year. This is a year of transformation, and we know with the grand conjunction and all the things that are happening, and because we have a Pluto return, we know we're going to do a transformation. And it's not really a hard transformation if you know the cards and you're doing what you need to do. If you're not doing what you need to do, you're being dragged. And we were dragged for 4 years because we have 4 clubs in trans Pluto. And with Donald Trump, it appeared to be Donald Trump, but it was a three of diamonds, and this country was dragged for 4 years because the country didn't want to do what it was supposed to do. And we can't blame it on the three of diamonds. We got to blame it on us, each individual person. What job were we not doing? So we transformed into a king of hearts, and it's like the baton was passed because the three of diamonds transformation caused the king of hearts. So the baton was passed in the midst of a six of clubs. So he got you, the three of diamonds got you to that point. They passed the baton, and now the king of hearts has to take you up and take us up to this crown line where we're doing this work, to transform this country. This is dope. You see that, Rashad?
Mm-hmm. If he but so what is it that he's gonna express that's gonna take us to the next level though?
The king of hearts.
Right.
Well, he's sitting in the king of hearts. His karma is a jack of clubs. He's sitting in the jack of clubs. His intelligent karma card is a jack of diamonds. So what's his expression? It's about moving forward. Because the jack of clubs is Uranus, Venus. So this is about, we have to move forward. We got to figure it out. The three of hearts is his Mercury. So we have the passion, we have the conversations, we have versatility, and it's sitting in the nine of diamonds, and the nine of diamonds is trans Pluto. So we got to let go of a lot of nonsense. We got options. We're not using them very well. And the eight of diamonds is his Venus. So we gotta get serious about the work that we do. We gotta get serious. The eight of diamonds in Venus is a very good placement. So he got the power in the White House. I'm sure people seen the change when he walked in that place. They like, yo, because he got the power. He got the 10 of spades in Saturn. So yeah, he got the power. It's like, okay. And then the four of spades is his Mars. And that's sitting in the two of clubs, challenging because the ace of spades. So transformation is on high. It's like we're gonna be living our best lives. We're gonna transform. We gotta do this. We gotta do it. And the ace of spades is where's the ace of spades? The ace of spades is sitting in Saturn. In the house in the three of spades. So it's creativity, and it's crowned in the eight of diamonds. So it's creativity. It's the changing the foundations, and the six of diamonds. It's like we gotta clear up these debts. Definitely, he has to clear up debts. They're the old people. Definitely, that's what I see. Biden is paying back debts. You know what I mean? His karmic debts, and definitely debts that are owed to people in the United States.
I think I look at it as far as the foreign trade that he's definitely going to implement or be talking to a lot of other countries in foreign trade and establishing relationships that may put us in a better better stance economically. Our relationships with China and foreign trade, I think, would be a very important topic, and how we exchange more money and what formats we exchange money. Maybe a transformation.
And that makes sense because China is sitting in the five of diamonds. That's about building relationships. It's definitely about investments. So yeah, that makes sense. And the three of diamonds is a card that is supporting that. So that's definitely and the three of diamonds has the king of hearts and Mars. And so the king of hearts is that driving force behind the three of diamonds, right?
Yeah, so maybe some certain endings. I seen that gasoline plant, and there's a lot of talk around electric cars. So I think they're going to be looking towards the future of tech. Well, I don't know. What's the 10 of clubs?
The 10 of clubs is in
the ace of spades.
The 10 of clubs and the ace of spades. You're right on with that. Definitely. Ten of Clubs, it definitely, that's transformation. So yeah, that's transforming the government for sure. We know the government is transformation, and the Seven of Spades is definitely vehicles, and it's in Neptune. It's in the Queen of Hearts. So definitely it's Mercury to the United States. So definitely we talked about how it would be a lot of death and a lot of stuff this year. So getting to with the in the Seven of Spades in Venus, the shootings and all of these kind of things, that's the Seven of Spades, brings a lot of a lot of accidents, a lot of things, and we have been very fortunate, that we haven't had on a large scale with that Seven of Spades. Do you agree?
You said, I'm sorry, what was that? I was looking at the chart. You said the accidents.
The Seven of Spades in Venus, the workplace, the Seven of Spades in the workplace and in the home. You got to pay attention. It's about paying attention, and it's in Neptune. So people, really have to pay attention, really have to do that spiritual work.
I think it clears, the Eight of Diamonds clears a lot of karma and trauma and debt from you as well. So that's a good position to have in your Venus. I think it's gaining balance and stability within your home.
Yeah, the King of
Spiritual
Diamonds
transformations.
The karma card. So yeah, definitely the power of it, and that's what he's here to do. That's definitely what he's here to do. So yeah, you're right about that. And it's Saturn is the Two of Clubs.
Yeah, I think the focus would be, he's building relationships for foreign trade, but it's to empower businesses and for you to import your own products and establish, at-home businesses as well, because I genuinely believe that's the pathway that we're going. So these particular developments within trade will, kind of help us out in establishing and being able to work from home.
Yeah, totally. That Two of Clubs is his Saturn, and that's his partner. The Two of Clubs and him have a synastry with the King of Hearts. Excuse me, that balance is Saturn. So his drive, is the work that he does with that Two of Clubs is sitting in the Jack of Diamonds. So that's the support. It's supporting the Jack of Diamonds. It's challenging the King of Hearts. Excuse me, and it's supporting the Two of Clubs. So you can't make this up. I mean, you literally cannot make up how this is playing out. You just can't, because why did the King of Hearts and the Two of Clubs become president? They didn't have no choice. You know what I mean? They didn't have any choice but to become president. And when we looked at Donald Trump's chart, he didn't have no choice but to become president. It plays out with the drama. But as we look at the cards, we're like, well, dang. You know what I mean? How did the King of Hearts and the Two of Clubs, and it's in Uranus, how did they become president and vice president of the United States? They did, right? Because it's in the cards. Now, it could have went a different ways, but stuff changes. And that would have made perfect sense, too, if it went another way. Because it would have been in the cards that it went another way. But the fact that those two were president and vice president at this time tells us a lot about where we're going. The Uranus card is a Three of Clubs, and that's the business person. That's that person, that astute business person. And it's sitting in Neptune Mercury. So the message is sitting in the house of the Four Hearts. So the message is about the structures of this country, like you said, building it, how you built in this country with that Three of Clubs, and Three of Clubs is a part of war. So it's serious, you know what I mean? Just thinking about that, you got to go for it. We have to use that energy, that warlike energy to build this country. Not a war, but the warlike, what is a warlike energy? It's winning, it's getting it done, you know what I mean? And then it's a Two of Spades. And that's the two space is that card of partnerships, cooperation. If we don't cooperate, that's it. It's sitting in the four diamonds. So the four diamonds is idealistic. It's desirable. It's we have four diamonds in our UN Neptune, right? So we got a lot of energy around us that we gotta become that country that we found those stuff up there out that will fit, And the five of spades is challenging karma card, and that's a change. Lots of changes. Changes in everything. That's the most powerful five in the deck. So everything is gonna change. You're building a structure, it's gonna change as you're building.
You said what are we looking at? I'm sorry.
The two of spades.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Pluto. And that leads you to the reward, which is the nine of clubs. And the nine of clubs, that means we gotta let go. We're going to universal information, like you said, building with countries and stuff like that. So the nine of clubs is your reward. Is a pretty good card. There's two of spades is now supporting you. And the six of spades is challenging. It's like you gotta let stuff go. You have to. The way you've done it hasn't been working. This is new. This is new, right? And
Yeah.
it's in Mars, Neptune, so it's about your faith. If we don't have faith, and the cosmic moon is the seven of clubs, and that's your conversations on the high side. The cosmic lesson is your spiritual downloads, the conversations that you're having with the universe. And the supporting karma cards, the eight of hearts. So we got the power. And the seven of spades is the challenging karma card. And that's about paying attention and going and doing that spiritual work with those double sevens. It's about now we're building, but we're building through observation of where we came from. And the moon is the jack of diamonds. So how we feel, relationships, and with other people. We can't be in our feelings. It's in the six of clubs. So that's what we're feeling today. Climbing. This jack of diamonds has to climb. So the king of hearts is climbing. He's getting there. And the queen of hearts is the transformation. Women, pouring in, and the conversations and that are going to be so powerful. And the six of spades is the supporting karma card. So this is going to take time. This is timing. And the nine of spades is the challenging karma card. So this is let go all those philosophies of being the power that the king of hearts has. His co-rule is the queen of hearts. You can't make this up. He transformed them into his co-rule. So what's this country? What is this country? What are men? And I find this so freaking, just the way it lines up. That men are being triggered by women because that balance between the king of hearts and the queen of hearts. That female receptivity is triggering men. And I see it in so many ways around me personally, in the world. And the challenging karma cards are nine of spades. So you gotta get in line with it. You gotta let go of some stuff, and that leads right to that seven of spades. And sitting in the queen of hearts, it's gonna hurt you. That seven of spades is gonna hurt you. It really is if you don't pay attention to what you're supposed to be doing. This is a time where you gotta go in and do the work. So with that nine of hearts that we have in Mars with that five of hearts this year, you got to do the work. This is about that balance between the male and the female. This is what this country has to have for us to move forward. So it starts inside of us. We're balancing out energies, and then our relationships. And that's difficult when men don't know how to lead. It's difficult. So you gotta step up. If you have a male energy that doesn't know how to lead, who's following? Come on now. We gotta get that right. You want to have that, and it's that balance between the masculine and the feminine. That's what we're going for. That the forefront is of non-binary. How do you get to be balanced in who you are when you always defining who you are. You're defining you're a woman, you're defining you're a man, and you don't know what that looks like. You're defining you're gay, you're defining you're straight, you're defining I don't want to be the one. That's not what we came here for. We ain't come here to define who we are. That's outside stuff. Because whoever you are on the inside, you are. But when you gotta leave your body and stand out in the world and scream, I'm gay, I'm straight, I'm woman, I'm man, you left the sanctity of your home, and your home is inside of you. And that's gonna change. I promise that's gonna change. With Pluto Dragon, that 5 of Hearts is gonna change. It's definitely gonna change, because there's not, that conversation is so dead. It just is. It's a conversation that's so triggering to so many people that it has to find balance. We gotta
You
find
said it's
balance.
going to change?
Yeah, it's gonna change.
In what way?
That you're not gonna stand outside and scream at somebody who you are. That's not gonna, that with Pluto Dragon, the 5 of Hearts, it doesn't matter, because the 5 of Hearts says, yeah, you are, but on the inside, there's some problems. There's some trouble inside of you. The trouble is not people accepting who you are. The trouble is you haven't accepted.
Where's you said the Pluto and the 5 of Hearts? What are you talking about?
The 5 of Hearts is in Pluto in the United States spread. And the 9 of Diamonds. So
I don't know if I've seen that this year though. As far
you haven't seen that this year? You haven't seen it.
Hold on,
you
wait.
haven't seen
I'm
it.
sorry. No. I'm sorry. You're right.
I'm just like, I don't know what you're doing over there.
No, you're right. That whole Nas X thing definitely put a stamp on that. With his, I mean, we were talking about yesterday what would come up. I don't know. Maybe you all can speak about it as far as what you've seen on your timelines, but I think he definitely got a lot of attention yesterday from what I've seen more than anything.
That's exactly what the 7 of Clubs does, right? The 7 of Clubs wants attention, right? The 7 of Clubs is the reward to the 10 of Diamonds. That's celebrity and attention. So everything lines up perfectly with that. Yeah, it's definitely. And that's 5 of Hearts. That's 5 of Hearts screaming in your face.
I don't even like watching news, but I haven't been looking at media, but now I'm about to start following a lot of media companies just to see.
Yeah, definitely. That's your job, because I'm not doing it. I appreciate you doing it, because I can't go back to the media. Lord have mercy. No, I can't. That was my, when I worked, I had to follow the media, because you have to be abreast of stuff when you work for the federal government. But now that I don't work for the federal government and the state anymore, I stopped, and it feels so good. So I appreciate you doing it. But the 5 of Hearts transfer being in Pluto is about you going inside, and that's what people avoid. People avoid going inside. I know I do. If I could avoid dealing with my stuff, I would do that too. Matter of fact, I did, because the 5 of Hearts dragged me and made me deal with my stuff, and I became a better person, knowing that nobody could help me. Learning that nobody can help me was the best. That I had to do it. I had to stand flat-footed and be me and be comfortable in my skin. Coming from a place of a masculine place. I come from a masculine place. My rising is Leo, and I just have a lot of masculine energy that nobody sees, but I feel it. I feel it, but people are like, why you act the way you act, and getting that balance of, yeah, I carry a lot of masculine energy. I do. But finding that balance of my masculine energy saved me, so going within side of yourself and getting the balance and balancing out you it's in so many ways. There's so many things that you would balance out, in yourself. It's work. And in this Five of Hearts year, that's what we were all charged with doing. Because the Five of Hearts is a beautiful energy. It's playful. It wants to have fun. But on the opposite side, it wants to run. Right? It's like, this is too much for me, so it shuts down. And that's what we see a lot of. So it's telling you, yeah, shut down, but do the work. You got to go inside and see what's triggering you to make you want to run. You want to run, but running isn't what you're supposed to be doing. So it's like, what do I need to do? And you need to not be standing outside in the world screaming at the world. You can't scream at the world because the world doesn't care. Once you're emotional, it's like they co-op your energy. We look at the movement over the Three of Hearts decade and how it transpired and what we went through to now. It's just a flag. It's a what has it been? It's put in, everything came down to having a rainbow flag. Did anything else come out of it? What are you banging on, Michelle?
I can't. I thought it was on me.
No, what did we come to when you think of a flag? What does a rainbow flag symbolize to you? What does all of the letters symbolize? It's like you tied up everything down in the Three of Hearts decade, because that's what the Three of Hearts decade was about. So now that we're in the Four of Hearts decade and we're building the foundation, are you building the foundation with good, the good stuff that you need to build the foundation with? And that's what we're looking at. We're looking at how do we become better? How do we become better with each other? And that's what we're charged with. We're charged with that. So going forward, that's what I see the president has to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was looking up some articles. Seems like he's focusing on energy efficiency. As I kind of was thinking, empowering us as far as within our homes and bringing everything into balance.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Right?
Yeah.
But we sure need something has to change with going forward in these times, and it's energy efficiency and all that kind of stuff. That should have been something that we did decades ago, right? That's so behind the times, and it's behind the times because of the money. The old school, the old regime that wanted to hold on to that money and not the innovation of moving forward. So crypto is definitely gonna change. Man, I'm telling you something. I'm telling you, I could give you the exact time the guap is gonna go up again. I mean, people who didn't buy guap, they're gonna be so sad because guap is getting ready to go. I pinpointed down to the day when guap went up to $500, Rashad.
Oh, wow.
And it's coming again.
Another article says Biden plans to spend billions.
You didn't get excited today for 6 o'clock.
I know. I don't want to over, but I know, like we talk about guap all the time. People are just waiting for it to make the next transformation. If you haven't got really into
guap, because guap is getting ready to hit the cars are so freaking dope and amazing. Watching where guap hit and following the karmas, I found the exact day to when it's gonna hit again. So yeah, I'm good.
what day is it? No, you-
Charge for that.
we'll talk about it in class, basically.
The consultation. Oh my God, it's so dope. It's so dope. I mean, I'm telling you, if this plays out the way, what you think, Nelson? Nelson is my crypto guru. Let's see if Nelson will come up to the stage because Rashad is not helping me out with that.
Well, people have been like really interested in the guap. I really don't want to sell no more.
Come on up, Nelson. Nelson he's been busy, boy, but he has been really Nelson is like, I can't come up right now.
You turn the hand raising thing off.
Huh?
The hand raising thingy, the jiggy is off.
No, I invited him up, so he got it.
Oh, okay. I got it.
I think the next thing to release is definitely the exchanges for guap coin. So
Yes, I'm telling you, maybe that will happen on that day too. But yeah, it's definitely, I followed the comments. So the comments are showing that guap is getting ready. Oh my gosh, it's just so freaking amazing. The karmas are the source. When you can follow your karmas, you can do anything. The karma cards are what you came here to master. And once you master them karma cards, you've opened up your trajectory to where you're going. And that's so important. It is so important. The dance that the karmas do, it's like you're jumping on hopscotch, it's like you jumping into the next box. Yeah. I wonder what hopscotch was. That's deep, Gina. You think hopscotch is cardology?
I don't know about that.
Oh my gosh, I know, because your brain, you're not a data scientist. Your transformation cards are 4 clubs. Remember, I'm around the 4 clubs all the time. So in order for the 4 clubs to be a data scientist, she had to come to the 8th diamond. So I believe I'm the original data scientist.
No, that's a fact. Y'all definitely are. Yeah. I will give you that.
Me and data, that was my struggle in school, because school does not reward women, especially for being that having that kind of brain. If I had a teacher who could, especially back then, could see my brain, I could, you know what I mean? That's the heights I could have went to with the brain that I have. But my brain, and that's something. How do you get to study that? You know what I mean? Because there are people who are raising children right now that have a 5 of hearts. They're all 5 of hearts, and that brain that they have. Well, we know. We talked about that, so we know that what they call special needs is going to be the people that are leaving the world, going forward in the future. So, and I always believe that special needs children are high octave and definitely came here from a whole different dimension. That's what I believe. That's why I say I'm going back to Vulcan. I'm going to Vulcan because I definitely know that this isn't my realm. I came here for whatever reason. I came here, but this isn't my realm here because my brain doesn't work like people's work. I don't know how people's brain work, but I know people who operate differently from me, and I see that we have operating systems that we operate on, and especially when you look at how if special needs children and special needs adults were marginalized, and we could see how many of them there is. But because they're marginalized, it seems like they're a sub part of culture. And so it's hard for me to really get a handle on it. But yeah, it's deep. For me, the brain is like, wow, the brain is so amazing.
I mean, yeah, operating systems is definitely the Queen of Diamonds, Yeah, so that makes sense. That definitely pushes the 5 of Hearts. So it's like, the connections, and because Diamonds is also gives it a cue to transformation of information in its own light or sense as well, as far as giving clarity and making connections within that. So the cognitive connections in your cognitive intuition and connection that you make. So yeah.
Yeah.
And
that
not
queen.
even not I wouldn't even say more or less as far as intuition, because it's more um a visible energy. So um the pulse that you can feel, the pulse that you make, and so definitely I think the Queen of Diamonds instincts is based on their pulses, you know, how they feel, and so your instincts isn't more as far as intuition, it's more like instincts and how you react, and you know, so the connections that you make has to be very clear. So if your Queen of Diamonds isn't at a high um rate of downloads and getting information, you're going to be scattered. You know, everything isn't going to be clear to you. You're going to be kind of in the dark.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And, the fact that my Queen of Diamonds is in Trans Pluto this year, that tells you a lot. So, yeah. And if you're diamonds, you're high octave of who you are, the Queen of Diamonds. So you have access to that energy. And that energy, the Five of Hearts, is Mercury. And yeah, that synastry between those two is a powerhouse. We got to synthesize the karmas and unlock them, because yeah, my brain has always been downplayed, because of the world. I come from that generation where being a brain wasn't the best thing for you, as a woman. So yeah, it definitely, we're in different times with this, with us getting the balance between the male and the female receptivity. It's really powerful, and yeah, definitely good stuff.
Yeah, so you kind of not relying much as far as intuition, but solid facts and data. So more or less intuition, but the facts and data. So I think that's a kind of a hard balance to kind of play is the struggle between the intuition and going with the hard facts. Which one is more valuable to you?
Well, that's why the Five of Hearts is that misfire. That's why, because if you don't cultivate that Five of Hearts, that's the Queen of Diamonds has that misfire in her brain, because it's not cultivated, and the Queen of Diamonds is Saturn and Mercury. So that's a misfire right there, right?
Yeah, exactly. It explains everything we just said. I said, yeah, that explains everything we just said, basically. Yeah. And then it's Neptune is the Queen of Space, and Mercury. So they definitely have to have to reconcile with their intuition and the data that they get, and the Queen of Space playing card is you. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely good stuff. I mean, the Six of Clubs, don't sleep on it. Where we are in this country right now, we are Six of Clubs. And don't sleep on the Six of Clubs, because this is definitely making sense with us going into a Pluto return. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I do have to run. I'm pretty busy today. I have to run in a few. Are we getting?
Oh, it's early there, boy. You busy.
Yeah, I was gonna stay up all night.
To that time frame and being busy.
I was gonna stay up all night, but then I mean, it's 4 o'clock here, so if I went to sleep at 10 or 11, it was like, no, I might as well get a couple hours.
Yeah, boy, your life just took a big, oh my goodness, just looking at it, you are on a trajectory for some stuff. My goodness, that's some good stuff, though. Well, get out there and make it happen, Captain. Did you get my text I sent you?
Yeah, some of those were already in the study guide.
Yeah, it was just on, they can have it on separate sheets of paper.
Oh, so you want to create a new?
No, just send it out on the 3 separate pieces, so it'll be on separate sheets of paper.
All right. So if you're in the class, what you should do is first print out the grand solar squares. Go to like wherever you print, FedEx or wherever, and print out the grand solar squares. It's like $35 or $40 maybe. If you print it out, and then I can put that into the study guide, and you can print out the study guide as well instead of creating a new link. That's why I did the share, so I wouldn't have to keep sending out emails and links and information in case things come.
Yeah, you can put it on there. That'll make sense, but that could be a separate. But you'll figure that out. Don't overtax yourself.
No, I'm trying not to overtax. That's exactly what I'm trying not to do. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible.
But simplifying it can be overtaxing if you overtaxing the simplification. Just saying.
Well, I mean, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, if you can't, because I'm gonna make it simple.
The 3 of diamonds is simplifying.
No, I'm gonna make it simple. I mean, you just gotta get with the technology. You gotta get with the technology.
Yeah, get with the technology. I know that's right. But yeah, you got it. Well, okay. Well, get out there and do what you got to do.
No, I'm not leaving right now. I'll just let you know when I say peace.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm good right now.
I got you. Well, it's a slow day, so don't try to move this day faster than it's gonna move for you.
No, that's why I'm gonna start early.
Yeah, boy, because the 6 of clubs is not going. It's gonna laugh at you.
No, I think it's gonna be for what I'm doing. I have a few different readings that I'm doing. So
yeah,
and I like to take. I really take my time with those. That's why I schedule 24 hours ahead of time as well. So I'm just going back over.
That's preparation. So that's a good day for that. I thought you were running around. I was like, this ain't the day to be running around.
No, well, hopefully, I was thinking, you say that, I'm thinking, hopefully I get more CMOS today, the new order. The new one will have Bladder X in it, so it'll be, have a combination of Bladder X CMOS dates within it, and so it still have that taste and kind of sweet taste, kind of calm down the fishy taste within it. So that's why it tastes pretty good and has a nice texture and consistency to it. And it's, like I said, it's thick, so it is highly concentrated. But hopefully I get that today. But it's just 6 of clubs, 2 of diamonds supports it. So yeah, let's hopefully get that in today.
You should. The 8 of diamonds is Jupiter, so you should get it today for sure. This would be the day to get it, With that 8 of diamonds up there, that's the reward. So it should be a very beneficial day to get it, But, it's just going out today. Be mindful. It's a slow day. So when you go out, you in the grocery store and you in line, be mindful that you shouldn't have went to the grocery store today.
Yeah, you definitely don't go to the grocery store today.
Yeah, this is on 6s. You got to take into consideration what you're doing because everybody doesn't know the energy. And people get frustrated on a 6 of clubs day. So I would avoid.
Yeah, they can be a little slow too.
Yeah.
They can take their time. Yeah, like you said, holding the responsibility. The 6 of clubs, sometimes they may not recognize the responsibility that they have. So they may.
Yeah. And think about the dance of the people behind the counter, what they're going through. I take that into consideration. I gotta go to the post office, and I'm not going today. I'll go tomorrow because that's my Uranus. So I go in and out. It's like on my Uranus day, I go everywhere, and everything is like perfect energy, perfect stuff, and so yeah, I'm in and out, pop all day long with the 5 of clubs.
But it can be some good friends and connections, while you waiting in line, conversations.
Yeah, exactly. If you're paying attention, but if it just takes one frustrated person on the 6 of clubs, and that throws the whole shit off. I'm telling you, that energy, the Six of Clubs energy, throws a wrench and stuff and tests you. You're right. It's gonna test you. So if you are, in your essence and doing what you do, it's great. But around you, you can be standing there saying, "Oh wow." It's me. Six of Clubs makes me go, "Oh wow." It does. Six of Clubs is one of them cards that I get a lot of "oh wows" looking at people.
I told you that shit. That's why you say wow is that Ace of Spades. That's your wild card.
That's a wild card. Oh wow. I do a lot of oh wow with the Six of Clubs. You got me like, oh wow. Because it is death, rebirth, volatile, transformational, all of that together. And when it hits, oh wow.
Who gives off like a good essence to the Six of Clubs, who I look at is red pill and blue pill. That's that's how I really look at the Six of Clubs, because they operate on a high level as far as mentally and spiritually. So they really dive into that Six of Spades and that spiritual essence. And they have that energy. They make you look at the war essence of the Six of Spades as well. Six of Clubs.
Blue pill take a minute. I don't know red pill, but I know blue pill. And blue pill take a minute to get there. It takes a minute. He's real thoughtful and conscious.
Man, yeah, you gotta. They talk for hours. When they was doing the Instagrams during the pandemic, they were on there for hours. They really gave you and used Instagram.
Go see him in person and see how long they talk. Okay. But yeah, definitely, definitely. Blue pill, definitely. You're right.
Maybe we should add, see if we can get some guests in. I know it's early, but maybe we can get some people in the mornings early. Maybe that can be the next thing.
You can work on that. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Get some people to come in, talk about card, because Blue Pill definitely knows about his card, Six of Clubs. So
yeah. Actually, Osun Femi talked to him, and she went over his card, and like Osun Femi, is she still doing the 1111s?
I haven't seen her doing that for a while. She's been traveling and stuff, but he talks to Twain all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he definitely knows his card.
Yeah, but the interview that Osun Femi did with him was deep. Like she really, it was so like I think you heard other parts that you never heard of him before.
Well, that makes sense because she's a 4 of diamonds and he's a 6 of clubs. They're Mars to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I gotta look that one up. But yeah, that's a good one. Get some people in. Yeah, do that.
Yeah, that means you all have to help me getting these people inboxes and tag them into some posts. So yeah, we'll work on that.
Yeah, well, I'll inbox Blue Pill and see if he'll come on. No problem. But definitely you see what people you want. The 30th. Today's the 30th. Who was born today? I'll definitely send him a message. I don't know anybody else. I really don't know a lot of stuff. For some reason, my brain is taking a sabbatical.
Yeah, I think we can be better than the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. I don't like the Breakfast Club.
I know, right?
I don't even know why you be posting it.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Breakfast Club is that was when I graduated school. That was like where I wanted to. I ain't gonna say work at, but I really like when they can really on the positive end, because it's always a
positive end.
You have to really find. You really have to find the juice into their stories, because they can get a little gossipy. They can get some chatty patties.
Charlemagne the God is definitely an op. He's an op. That's all.
Look, I don't know these people personally, but I know their cards. What is his card? What is his card?
The work that he does is suspect.
Charlotte.
Hey, Charlemagne the God is definitely, ain't he an ace of spades?
I'm not sure, but South
One of
Carolina.
them cards definitely is I don't know. He gives me pause. I follow my instincts. They never
He's
send me.
calculated. I think whenever someone comes from South Carolina, I think people from South Carolina doesn't even know they come from a nine of clubs state.
Mhm.
So just given that in the essence, a lot of people don't live their truth sometimes. So once you get into the spotlight, you can be very dedicated and glorify yourself sometimes, because it's a hard journey getting and coming from that particular area in that state, especially with the hindrances as far as because people still play that lateral and the good boy system. So there's a lot of ego that's attached whenever you come from that type of place, January 29th, June 29th. So he's a Cancer. He's is that a Queen of Hearts or King of Hearts?
Rashad, it's funny because I was just thinking about Charlemagne and how toxic he is.
Yeah, he's definitely in the spread. Oh, he's an ace of clubs right before the King of Hearts. So he's an ace of clubs.
Ace or something, I couldn't remember.
So it's either what's that for today? The Saturn card? What was in it?
That would make him gossipy for sure and nosy on the low end.
Neptune card.
Who's Neptune card?
He's a Neptune card for today.
Oh yeah. That would make him. Yeah, he's polarizing, but to me, he's a op. He would not surprise me at all.
But yeah, that adds depth to who he is for me though. He's very calculated. I think he's calculated.
Oh yeah, he's calculated.
Cancer.
Calculated. He's very calculated, but he's definitely.
Oh yeah, he works with some dark energy, so he has that moon, that nine of spades. So he's not. I don't think he.
But his ace of spades is Saturn, so to me, that ace of spades is there. He being the ace of clubs, but his ace of spades is Saturn, and I guess that's why he triggers me, because my ace of spades is Pluto. But the ace of clubs is that duality. You never know them. He could flip back and forth into his other personality very quickly, and I see that in him. He flips he's very shrewd.
Yeah,
he's very shrewd.
Yeah, he's gonna have you questioning what's his motive.
Oh yeah, he's very shrewd. So that's a very good for ace of clubs, that's really good to go into that line of work. You know what I mean? That's very shrewd. I ain't mad at him. I just, he doesn't serve the community as far as I'm concerned. But
he's definitely self-centered.
Yeah, he's an ace. What do you want? He got an ace in Saturn. But definitely when stuff comes out about him, it's gonna be juicy. It's like with Wendy Williams. It's like when everything starts coming out about her, she gets identified.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
A lot of stuff comes about her. It's like, in her ace of spades.
10 of clubs in itself. Oh gosh, they have some, like you said, the two of spades. I think they have that ace of spades effect about them, where they, like you said, they have some secrets they may not reveal about themselves, but 10 of clubs can live a flip-floppy life. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. Yeah, so their ace of clubs is Jupiter. But yeah, they can be kind of bipolar too. I know you say the 10 of spades, 10 of clubs is bipolar or schizophrenia, you think?
That jack of spades would definitely give not.
I wouldn't say.
They got lots of personalities.
Yeah, personalities.
The 10 of clubs out of most any card in the deck. It's got some personality.
Yeah, personality.
It's challenging karma card.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's bipolar.
Personality.
Or I don't know if I could call that schizophrenia on its lowest end.
Yeah, schizophrenia was something that made up so they could write a prescription. They made up terminologies because they couldn't give you drugs until they named stuff.
Yeah,
so
it's a natural. So you saying it's a natural human characteristic?
Yeah, it's natural, but it's not, depending on how, you're triggered, because it could be violent, there can be some violent energy. You got a King of Spades in Venus, so in the home, depending on how you raise that 10 of clubs, that's some very violent energy. You know what I mean? Because they're always gonna be triggered with stuff with their parents and family and stuff like that. It's extremely important to them,
especially the women in their family.
So yeah, it's definitely volatile stuff. But so it's who you are. It's who you are and what you came back here to do. That's a lot of energy to carry. It's just a lot, it's a lot of energy to carry as a child, and nobody helped you with it. So at 17 is that gateway. 17 is a gateway that portal that opens, and that's when most, especially young men, have their most difficult time is 17. So yeah, that's when, 17 to 22 is the most difficult time in life for certain people. And the card, then it makes sense. So 17 and was 45. So you look at 17 and 45, that's the next time you're going to hit that in life, right?
17 to 36, you're talking about 45 years later?
Yeah, 45 years later, you're going to hit that same portal.
I mean,
So, but well, really, yeah. So yeah, it's 40, isn't it 45? I think it's 45 years later. My brain to hit that next plate, a 17 plate, you hit that again, and that's the 3 of diamonds. So the next time you hit the 3 of diamonds and Pluto is that next time in life, and that's when is that?
60. You talking about 40? You talking about 61?
That's coming up. We're gonna be hitting that plate in the United States in the 3 of diamonds
is in the sun next year. Yeah.
Next year, so we're gonna go through some shit next year. No, it's not. It's in the sun, but when is it? We missed. It was.
No, I was just a shame.
62. 62 is when you live 17. So, gotta look at that. 62 and 17.
61. Yeah, 61, 62.
No, 3 of diamonds is 62. So we already came through that portal at 62. If we look back at the United States year in 62, you could tell some stuff. You'd be like, yo, this kind of reminds me of something. And I'll remind you of 17. If you go back to 17, look at your cards at 17. Depending on what card you were, tells a story. If you were 10 of diamonds at 17, yeah, it was rough. If you were, what else is 17 is rough? 10 of diamonds is rough at 17, but that's Jupiter. So that's when they would definitely diagnose a 10 of diamonds.
You're looking at 61 or 60? Are you talking about 45 years from 16?
It's
61.
62. It's 62. The next time, no, I was saying the next time the 3 of diamonds is in trans Pluto, it's 62.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do the math in my head. That's why I stopped talking about the math. But yeah, you have the 10 of diamonds at 17, a 3 of diamonds at 17. Looking at 17, you have a 17-year-old child. A 4 4 of diamonds at 17. Whereas the placements at 17 is very important to know for your children. 9 of diamonds at 17. Yeah, that's volatile. I wouldn't say volatile. 5 of clubs at 17. It's not volatile, but it's gonna be the time where they don't want to medicate. They don't want to. 7 of diamonds at 17. Don't want to medicate. It's gonna be definitely the ace of spades at 17. The ace of diamonds. I'm gonna look at that and see all of that energy at 17.
I mean, that was us transitioning into from COVID, or which one was that?
17.
No, 62. Because you said.
Yeah, 62 was.
Because we're at 60.
We're at 64. No, 63 was COVID. So 62 was no, 62 wasn't COVID. Started in 60. So 62 was 2019, 2018. 62 was 2018. Right? So what was happening in 2018?
Yeah.
So what was happening in 2018?
I think that's when I think that's where I felt everything start as far as spiritually. And certain things being recognized and revealed during that particular time. I think we definitely took a transition as far as values spiritually, and there was a transformation as far as health-wise as well. I know I'm sitting trans Pluto, so for me, it was definitely a transformation for me. So I'm speaking for myself, but that's what it was.
Well, it was good for me because I was sitting in my house of my reward. I was sitting in the 7 of hearts. So 2018 was, it was the time at 62. Yeah, I got free at 28 at 20. Yeah, 62 was a good time for me. My transformation card was the 6 of hearts, but it was a good freeing time for me. So yeah, 17 was a good time for me too. It was when I came into my own. So it depends on your placement. So you look at 17 and it tells your story.
Definitely. Yeah, 17, that's when I think that's when I started really looking at I guess you said the long-term journey, and maybe trying to recognize the path within that, especially my particular mission, and trying to, I think but really when I started my foundation, to be honest, and I'm sitting in the 4 of spades, because that's when I brought KT the arts degree, and I took a risk and a chance, and it really wasn't about the return of money in the essence, but.
Sitting in the 3 of diamonds at 17, the 6 of clubs, and we talking about it today. You can't make that up.
You said what?
The 6 of clubs is in the 3 of diamonds is at 62 and 17, and we talking about this. The 6 of clubs, I mean, it's sitting in the 3 of diamonds house.
Oh, okay. I was like, let me go back.
So we talking about this, and this is 6 of clubs day. And it's very relevant, that's for sure. Energies on 17 are very relevant to understand if you have a troubled teenager. That's a very evident to me that you got trouble teenager at 17. And it's very important to know. My grandson just turned 17. And he's in the Queen of Diamonds. And we can blame that on that. But yeah.
Where's the 9 of clubs and the 8 of spades?
The 9 of clubs is sitting in the 8 of spades. And the 8 of spades is sitting in the 6 of diamonds. So they don't have too much. They don't have too much. 17 wasn't a challenge
No, I'm just looking at the fact that's year you're supposed to graduate.
Oh, okay, yeah, so, oh, wow, yeah, but at 18, most people graduate.
Yeah, 18.
So, yeah, so it's definitely telling you to stay the course at 9 of clubs. Wow, that's deep. 9 of clubs is saying stay the course at 17, but 17 is a dropout year. So, yeah, that's 17 is something to study for sure. If you have a teenager, want to know this plate, because it could make or break your home. For sure. Definitely.
I'm sorry, Brandon. What was you was talking about? Was it something that Charlamagne said today?
Anybody come up to the stage, come on up. We're looking lonely up here. She even had to go to work. And we are looking lonely. Don't make me start singing. People y'all would not like that. You might like it, you know what I mean? I shouldn't even say that about myself. It's just my family. They're haters when I start singing. Look at this song. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, it's funny how I just popped into